was us against the world. What we were attempting to do was pay the nation's top producers better. That put me on the hate list of every other real estate company.
The brokers did not like the idea of making the agents the heroes of the organization.
We figured that the agent was doing all the work and taking most of the risk, and yet only getting half of the compensation.
A high commission split was a big part of what we had going for us in the beginning. The advantage of that was that you would attract the full-time, experienced producers in the business.
REMAX was an agent-centric company right from the get-go.
REMAX has always been that pioneer. We basically taught agents how to promote themselves.
It was revolutionary. It was different than the way real estate had ever been done in the past.
The first month, I took over 1,000 phone calls, 204 face-to-face interviews, and 4 people signed up. You kiss a lot of frogs before you find a prince. And they call me Wart Lips.
I remember going to sell my first franchise, and this gentleman looked at me and he said, "Son, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of."
And the whole industry was knocking us and telling us that we were nothing but a bunch of cowboys and yahoos. And we went to the Colorado Association of Realtors convention, and so we passed out red, white, and blue pens, and it said 100% in the center. I up mine, now up yours.
We weren't liked very well, let's just put it that way. But we became respected because of the fact that the numbers that we were doing, the quality of the agent, the integrity of the agents that we were bringing on. We evolved, and what happened was we coalesced around one image.
We had 2 owners of the REMAX franchise in Albuquerque, and the Albuquerque Balloon Festival was just taking off.
So they wanted to do a REMAX balloon. At the same time, regional owners had a meeting in Chicago, and we looked up at the TV, and there's the REMAX balloon.
Nobody wanted it as a logo. It was just, isn't that cute, our balloons up in the air?
We hated that balloon. We said, what in the world does a balloon have to do with real estate? And we were proven wrong about that because we had a slogan set above the crowd. And it perfectly described not only the balloon, but our agents. We had the top people in the industry.
We took a kind of a silly little symbol and turned it into this massive icon of what professional real estate is supposed to be about.
The early days of the company were fraught with a lot of financial difficulties.
We had to sell a franchise in order to make payroll. We had to sell another franchise in order to pay the rent.
It was just an absolutely terrible market.
In 1980, we lucked out and sold to 2 extraordinary business people, Frank Polsler and Walter Snyder.
Of course, we were extremely impressed. They showed us the best of the best, and we thought we could repeat that in Ontario.
We thought there was a great opportunity in the marketplace for this type of brand and this type of business model.
Dave looked at my financial statements and he said, "Frank, you're broke." I said, "We'll make it work."
If an accountant would have made this decision to sell us the franchise, we wouldn't be here today.
They convinced us that they could do the job, and they totally turned the company around.
Frank and Walter understood franchising. They fell in love with our concept. They opened the entire European continent for us, and overnight they revolutionized our company.
By the 90s, we were booming.
We started to grow at 3,000 and 4,000 agents per year, which was unheard of in our history.
At our 20th anniversary, we reached 30,000 agents. And at that point, we really started to become a factor in the country.
The agent number meant market share, meant market presence, meant advertising dollars.
The time I saw the brand really grow was when we started doing national advertising. And once that took hold in big markets and small markets, they knew what REMAX represented and what it was about.
The premier best agents in the business, the best customer satisfaction, the best brand name awareness, the most market share, the best web presence, all these things are the REMAX brand.
The 90s were impacted by technology, and REMAX was in the forefront of that.
We became the first real estate company to have a satellite TV network.
When Dave Lineker comes up with an idea, it's going to be done first class and it's going to be done very quickly. He came up with the idea in March and he said, "We will be on the air November 1st. And we were on the air November 1st.
We opened the convention at the National Association of Realtors with a huge booth, cameramen interviewing people. We made such a smash hit the first day that by the second day, 30 or 40 of our competitors all had whiteboards up in their booths that said, "We too have national television coming."
That changed so many things. That took us up a level.
We had the tools to help make agents and brokers more successful than they had ever been in the past.
Our national company, our regional companies, our broker owners. We are all specialists in providing products and services to help top producers become more successful. We are totally devoted to the top producers.
By the time 2000 rolled around, REMAX was the significant player in the real estate industry in all of North America.
We grew into Europe and Asia, the Caribbean, into Mexico, to where we are now.
We went from country to country and started seeing the immediate success.
We were established, we were the go-to company, we had a national presence in the media.
It was inevitable we'd become number one.
We have the greatest run-up in the history of real estate. Then, boom.
Change is interesting. Some people embrace it and some people are afraid of it.
You know, back in 2006, 2007, I started to see Dave and Jess talking about how hot the market was getting.
Dave would get up in front of people and say, "A slowdown is coming. Get prepared."
We said, batten down the hatches. This is going to be the toughest one we've ever seen.
Dave, being the visionary that he is, realized what agents needed to do was change the focus of their business.
First, we saw the unbelievable number of foreclosures and REOs coming and said, you've got to prove to bankers you can handle REOs. It's going to be the business we have.
We saw distressed properties. Okay, let's get distressed property education out on REMAX University.
We started teaching the CDPE course and pushed the short sales. We went to Fannie, Freddie, FDIC, Treasury, and HUD. We helped them rewrite the short sale rules.
Let's get investors, because there's such a huge investor market, property management and rentals.
So we embraced the changes.
REMAX survived the difficult markets for the same reason that we prospered in the very good markets. If you have a company that's built with the very best brokers and the very best agents, it's going to prosper.
We're successful today because it comes from the top.
It's the honesty. It's the hard work. It's, hey guys, we do the right thing here. That is what Dave and Gail and Fish and Jess, that's what they believed in.
To be affiliated with the top real estate professionals in the business, the best agents, the best broker owners and managers, it's been the best 40 years of my life.
One day you look up and say, woo, wow, look at us 40 years later. But in reality, it was 40 years of days, 40 years of nights. It was a passion for the organization. It was an absolute love for the people in REMAX. There's no words to explain how much we appreciate the real estate agents and broker owners that work with us. They built this company. They're the best in the history of the real estate industry.